Good morning. Today we're going to look at a case study with regards to a 41-year-old female who has recently been diagnosed with cervical cancer and is suffering from anxiety, mild depression, and some digestive complaints such as bloating and abdominal distension. Let's look at her symptoms of anxiety and depression first. Now, it's important to know that anxiety and depression often occur together, and while they both have their own distinct symptoms, there is some overlap. This includes things such as changes in sleep patterns, irritability, loss of appetite, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Now, anxiety is the body's response to stress, and it comes as a feeling of apprehension or fear, which may be triggered by a perceived threat. Symptoms include increased heart rate, feeling tense or nervous, sweating, trembling, and a sense of impending danger. On the other hand, depression is a serious condition that can negatively influence how a person thinks, feels, and acts. Symptoms are often long-term and include low mood, low motivation and self-esteem, worthlessness, hopelessness, and suicidal thoughts. The body can withstand small amounts of stress without harm, but prolonged stress can negatively affect overall health, particularly gut health. Stress interferes with the proper digestion and absorption of important nutrients and vitamins, resulting in neurotransmitter and microbiota imbalances. This patient's symptoms of bloating and discomfort may be caused by this disruption. Another mechanism involved is the bidirectional communication channel between the enteric and central nervous systems known as the gut-brain axis. Neurotransmitters, including serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine, play an important role in regulating this connection. Serotonin functions as the key neurotransmitter, which not only regulates mood, but also communicates messages to the brain to let us know when we need to eat, digest, and sleep. Norepinephrine, along with adrenaline, are responsible for the body's fight or flight response to danger or stress. And dopamine is responsible for the positive feelings associated with pleasure or reward, which stimulate mood and motivation. Low levels of these neurotransmitters eventually deplete GABA stores, which further contributes to the symptoms associated with anxiety and depression. Cervical cancer is a type of cancer that occurs in the cells of the cervix and is commonly caused by the human papillomavirus. Signs and symptoms include unexpected or abnormal vaginal bleeding, unusual vaginal discharge, pelvic pain, and pain during sex. Persistent infection with high-risk HPV, especially HPV 16 and 18, is the single most important risk factor for cervical cancer. However, it is the epigenetic alterations involving abnormal DNA methylation and histone modification that contribute to the disease's progression. Cervical cancers are primarily caused by the overexpression of the E6 and E7 oncogenes following HPV, DNA integration, and methylation. This integration results in the suppression or deletion of the E2 gene, which is normally responsible for regulating the production of these tumor-promoting genes. Without the E2 gene, the E6 and E7 genes can replicate freely and induce histone acetylation, further promoting tumor and cancer growth. To alleviate this patient's symptoms, it is necessary to restore the balance and function of neurotransmitters and gut microbiota. Through anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, microbiome supporting, and epigenetic alterations, healthy dietary habits may influence mental health and well-being, as well as cancer development. As the building blocks of practically every tissue in the body, amino acids play a critical role in the creation of cells, hormones, and neurotransmitters. Production of neurotransmitters also relies on the presence of mineral cofactors. Folate and B vitamins are essential for the methylation cycle, which produces the essential neurotransmitter cofactor tetrahydrobiopterin. Greens such as kale and beans and legumes are also high in folate and other B vitamins. Tryptophan is the only amino acid precursor for serotonin, which we know is a key player in mood, appetite, and digestive modulation. Other amino acids compete for tryptophan in the brain, reducing serotonin synthesis. A high-protein diet increases amino acid levels and competition for tryptophan entry into the brain. Carbohydrate-rich meals boost insulin synthesis, helping muscle cells to absorb amino acids. This helps tryptophan pass the blood-brain barrier, raising serotonin levels. Why depression and carbohydrate cravings go hand in hand? Low serotonin levels due to a higher protein diet. Focus on plant proteins and complex carbohydrates, including vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes, for optimal levels of tryptophan in the brain. This pattern not only produces enough serotonin to keep you happy, but also has a positive effect on the microbiota gut-brain axis. As discussed earlier, folate and B vitamins are essential for DNA methylation. Therefore, folate deficiency decreases DNA methylation, which is related to a variety of cancers. Consumption of fruits and vegetables high in natural antioxidants, folate, and other bioactive dietary compounds may help protect against cancer progression by influencing epigenetic DNA methylation and histone modification. For example, green tea has polyphenols, which suppress DNA methylation, and organosulfur compounds in broccoli and garlic act as HDAC inhibitors, resulting in tumour suppression. The Mediterranean diet is traditionally high in fruits and vegetables, pasta and rice, fish and poultry, whole grains and legumes, and healthy fats such as olive oil. It also contains regular but small quantities of red meat, wine, cheese, and yogurt. The Mediterranean diet has been associated with decreased incidence and prevalence of depression, with evidence suggesting a link between brain-derived neurotropic factor as a potential mechanism due to the effects of omega-3 fatty acids found in olive oil and fish, which makes up about a third of the weekly Mediterranean diet. The microbiome is another focus on the relationship between nutrition and mental health, with fermented foods at the forefront. These foods are often referred to as probiotics and prebiotics because they contain bacteria that have a beneficial effect on both gut health and mood by boosting dopamine synthesis. To enhance mental health and overall wellness, patients might be encouraged to consume a diet that is optimal for brain health. This diet would provide appropriate neurotransmitter cofactors, be anti-inflammatory, promote BDNF synthesis, and maintain a healthy microbiota. The Mediterranean diet is one example.